press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, hope you people are doing good. The last class we did discuss about human resources, right? As you all know, human resource. See, whenever a nation needs a work to be done, it is the human resource that matters a lot, right? So whosoever it is, okay, like whosoever it may be, with their skills, if they are doing any improvement or bringing any change or development in the nation, that matters a lot. So that's the reason. See, in all the animals, among all the animals, we consider person or human being as a most intelligent one, right? So when those people are given importance, or those people, whatever they are having the skills, if at all recognized, if at all it is recognized, then definitely it is like, it is considered to be like the human resource is given much more importance. Do remember, dear students, when it comes to the development of a nation, human resource matters a lot. See, again you will be reading about this in the next year, again in 9th grade. See what happens if you are investing upon a human resource. If you are investing on a person, definitely you will get something in return. Okay, see, most of the people, most of the country, they do spend on so many things, right, for the development of the nation. Imagine if at all a person is having good skills, he knows how to work, how to he knows everything about the computer. Imagine if at all you are making that person learn more and you're investing for his studies and all, definitely once he gets to know each and everything, he'll be helping you to gain the same, you will be getting all the knowledge from that particular person, right? He'll be doing all the works related to the computer. So that's the reason, always do remember, investing upon a human being, or say investing upon a human resource never goes like it's not a waste, okay, like always it is considerable, because people do respect, okay, people know that yes, if at all they are having good skills, so that will be respected. So that's the reason every person, every human being wants, or their skills has to be recognized, and those skills should be always given importance. So if at all a nation wants any of the changes to be brought, see what happens, like human resource matters a lot. As they matter a lot, we have to keep a check on the population of a nation. See, more the population, more the problems. Nothing but you have to see, the country has to serve all the people, right? It has to take care of each and every person who is residing in a particular area. And if there are more number of people, then definitely the nation, okay, will be having one or the other problem, right? Right now we are having employment problems, right? Most of the people, they are not getting good food. So the nutrition, there is malnutrition, there is, the nutrition is not being, it is not, the required amount is not given to the people, right? Because of more population, and even the food grains, it may not be reaching, each and every person, first thing, or maybe as the food grains produced is not equal to the people who is consuming it. So that's the reason we have to keep a check on all these things. Now when it comes to the population, last or the previous class we did discuss about the factors, right? The factors, those are affecting the distribution of population. See, do you think so population is equally distributed everywhere? No, right? It depends upon their climatic condition, the social, cultural, or say economic conditions. So all those things matters a lot, because people do they do have their own wishes, they do have their own likings, right? So that's the reason what these people do, they work accordingly. So now see, they do choose the places according to their will and wish. They do not reside in places where they will not get good education. Sometimes people are very much keen to get good education, so they will be choosing the place wherein they can get good education, or maybe industrial area, or say even for agriculture. So it totally depends upon people, right? So the population is totally unevenly distributed. It is not evenly distributed. So when it comes to population change, the population, what is population change? Why does this happen? See, population change, it is nothing but, it refers to the change in the number of people during a specific time. So now, suppose, imagine a period is given from so and so date to so and so. So if at all, is there any change in the population? Yes, number of people. Now see, because of the pandemic, because of this virus, most of the people they did die, right? So again, there's a population change. Sometimes there will be like few people, they do get jobs somewhere else, they do travel to that particular place, leaving their own place. A few people, they get transferred. Few people, they want to like a few people, they get married, they do change their place. So all these things do happen. So at a given period of time, if at all there is a change in the population, then that itself will be called as population change. So the world population, it has not been stable. As we all know that, as I told you, it is not stable. It keeps changing. Every now and then it keeps changing, and you cannot say that, okay, this is something which is stable. No, every now and then there will be a change. So because these changes, it changes. What is the reason these keep changing? What is the main reason for the population change? No doubt there will be like people do shift from one place to another, or probably for the sake of job they leave the nation, they leave their place. All these things are there. Apart from that, there is something called as birth and death. There will be number of, like every minute there will be, or every hour there will be the birth of a child, right? So that too life, okay? And now what happens, alive, a few people, few children are dying because of the nutrition that is not available, or even the climatic condition. Because of those things, the infants do die. So if at all there is a good atmosphere, there will be a live child. So now this is due to the every now and then there will be death and birth, okay, taking place. So now the large number of babies are born, but they do die early sometimes. So during this history, that is in 1800s, okay, the world's population grew steadily. Okay, it did grow very fast, but it did grow very slowly, but it was a totally a stable thing. Okay, the reason is large number of babies were born, but they did die too early. Okay, they did born alive, but they died very early. So sufficient food was not available. Farmers were not able to produce enough to meet the food that is required for the people. As I told you, see, food is not available. Few people are not getting the basic needs. They're not getting the basic food, okay, whatever they want to have, they're not getting. So what happens? Out of hunger, they are dying. So same thing happened during 1800s, okay, people did not receive the farmers, whatever they had produced, that was not equal, that was not sufficient for the population. So because of this, there were lots of death. Okay, so in 1804, the world's population reached 1 billion, it seems, and 155 years later, that is in the year 1959, the world's population reached 3 billion. What is the reason for these changes? Let us know about these things. The main reason for this growth, that with better food supply, not only the better food supply, it is not only the food, it is even about the environment. If you are in a good environment, definitely there will be hygienic environment. What I can say is hygienic environment. Now you see the hygiene is getting lower because of the huge population, huge pollution. Okay, people are not maintaining hygiene, etc., etc. So these things matters a lot, right? So because of which, again, there will be there will be death. Yes, the main reason for this growth is better food supply and even medicines. So death is reducing, and the number of births are it is still the stable one. Okay, it is not increased, but at least it is in the stable manner. So that? See, in the earlier days, as I told you, like a small child, they used to, like it did, most of the child did die, right? So because of less nutrition. So now, as with better nutrition, better food supply, what is happening? You know, the birth is good, okay, birth rate is good, and the death rate is less. Now, the births are usually measured using the birth rate. Okay, so what is this birth rate? So let us know about that. So usually this birth rate, okay, like the births are usually calculated using this birth rate. It is nothing but the number of live births, okay, live, or say alive, we can consider it as alive. So the one who is alive, okay, so live births per 1,000 people. Out of 1,000 people, okay, out of 1,000 people, how many child are still, like, you know, alive? So that will be taken up, okay, out of 1,000 people, so and so person, so and so babies are alive. Yes, so that is the birth rate. So that is how they calculate it. And yes, the death is measured accordingly to the that is the death rate, nothing but again the death, okay, the death that is caused out of 1,000 people, again, okay, the same thing. So that will be taken as the death rate. So now for the, like, okay, this is one thing wherein the population keeps changing. The next important thing is, it is about migration. So people do migrate from one place to another, right? As you all know, like for the sake of food, for the sake of job, for the sake of necessity or shelter or anything, people do like they shift from one place to another. They keep moving from one place to another. So that itself is migration. It is the movement of people. Okay, so in and out of an area. So within an area they are coming, or out of that area they are going. So that itself is called as migration. So see here, births and the deaths are a natural cause. Okay, so definitely that is not in our hands. So birth and death, so that is very natural in nature. The difference, okay, the difference between the birth rate and the death rate, okay, of a country can be called as natural growth rate. So the difference, okay, so the difference between these two, that is the birth rate and the death rate, will be called as natural, growth rate. Okay, so it will be considered in a nation. So if you are considering the natural growth rate, then definitely the difference between the birth rate and death rate shall be considered. So the population increase in the world, okay, it keeps increasing in the world in it is due to natural growth rate itself. Okay, we can calculate it through natural growth rate. So you can check the figure 6.3, that is on the page number 65, wherein they have given what is how the population is growing. Now let us know about the meaning of life expectancy. It is nothing but it is the number of years that an average person can expect to live. See, earlier days it was almost 80, 90. Now even people are dying at the age of 40, 50 sometimes. So expected life, year. So yes, this person can be expected that, okay, he'll be having so and so years of age. See, it is not in our hand, that is totally natural. But even then, expectancy, life expectancy, we do say, okay, so if at all you are in a good area, you are very healthy, okay, so this person can, not this inevitable accidents and all, okay, keeping that aside, yes, a natural death may be it can be expected. Okay, so that is expectancy, life expectancy. So as I told you, birth rate, if at all you are considering birth rate is more than the death rate, then that will be called as population increase. Imagine the birth rate is more. Okay, the birth rate here is more. If you are considering the birth rate, it is totally more, okay, compared to the death rate. So death rate is very less. Okay, so death rate is very less, but the birth rate is more. So that condition will be called as, population increase. So this is population increase, because birth is more here, death is less. Right? So population is increasing. Imagine if birth is less and death is more, so then we can consider it as population is decreasing, because birth rate is very less but death rate is more. So the population is decreasing. So if at all birth rate and death rate are both like it is same, then the population is same, nothing but it is stable. You can consider it as stable there. So that is the difference. You see, birth rate, if it keeps increasing compared to the death rate, then we call it as a increase in population. If birth rate is less than the death rate, birth rate decreases and the death rate increases, then definitely we consider it as population is decreasing. And if it is stable, like both are equal, then definitely it is stable. So the next is migration. As I told you, migration is nothing but it is the movement of the people from one place to another in search of food, job, or for anything. Okay, they want to shift from one place to another, then that itself will be called as migration. So under that we have people. We do have these two words, that is emigrants and immigrants. Always remember how to remember this migration. M can be taken as export, Im can be taken as import. So what is export and import in trading? Export is nothing but from your country you are sending it outside, right? So that is export. And when it comes to import, something you are taking from another country, you are receiving it to your own country, so that is import. In the same way, emigrants and immigrants. So emigrants, when it comes to immigrants, most of the people, they do get confused with emigrants and immigrants. Both are different meaning, okay, both do carry different meaning and both are having different definitions. So when it comes to immigrants, those are the people, okay, people may move within a country or between countries. So immigrants are people who leave the country and go to some other country. Export. So immigrants is nothing but you leave your country and you go to some other country. So that is emigration. Emigrant. You will be called as an emigrant. The process that takes place, that will be called as emigration. Okay, so emigration, and person who does it will be called as an emigrant. And immigrant is nothing but a person comes to your country, okay, from outside he is coming, so that person will be called as immigrant. And the process, okay, like the migration will be called as immigration. Okay, yes, so that is the the two things. Okay, when it comes to immigrants, it is emigration. Immigrants, it is immigration. So do remember this, export and import. So that's the best way or easiest way to remember this. So when it comes to migration, okay, as we did discuss, like yes, they do keep we even consider it as in emigration and out migration. Okay, so this is out migration, in migration, even that is the other word you can consider here. So the general trend of international migration is from the less developed nation to the more developed nation, is for the better employment opportunities, for the better living, better standard of living, better having better life, to have a better life. Most of the people, what they do from the developing nation or less developed nation, they do travel towards developed nations. So that is always that usually happens. Usually people do travel from less developed nation to the more developed nation. So that is usual thing that takes place. So in search of job opportunities, and even within countries, large number of people may move from the rural to urban areas in search of employment, education, or say health facilities. So this is usually it takes place because rural areas, as you all know, let's take an example of village. Most of the people, let's take Harrier itself. Nowadays you can find a few of the hospitals. Else for each and everything they had to rush towards Davangere itself, right? So there are few villages which still do not have a good hospital. So definitely from their area, which is considered to be the rural area, from there they have to travel towards the urban area. So this is natural, right? Because of the medical facility. It may be for the medical facility, or probably it is for the education and all. People do travel from rural areas to the urban areas for better education, or say even employment, etc. So this is always possible. So the next is patterns of population change. So why does population change, and are there any patterns? Let us know about that. So rates of population growth vary across the the world. So it is not always the same. As you all know, from place to place itself, it keeps changing, right? So even like when it comes to the world, definitely it keeps changing. So although the world's total population is rising rapidly, not all countries are experiencing this growth. Some countries like Kenya have high population growth rates. So they had both high birth rates and even death rates. You see, like not all the nation is experiencing this, because obviously in India, like definitely we can see that people are rushing towards the developed nation for the better opportunity, for the better, like employment, etc., for those things. They are rushing towards the developed nation. But there are nations which are not having this. Okay, for example, that is Kenya, wherein both the birth and death rates are very same. Okay, now with improving healthcare, death rates have fallen, but birth rates still remain the high. Okay, when it comes to Kenya, so they are having good birth rate and death rate is very less because of the medicines. So they are getting because of the good health condition what they are having. So that's the reason what is happening is like the death rate is very less. So in other countries like United Kingdom or say population growth, like when it comes to United Kingdom, the population growth is slow because of low death rate and low birth rate. So both are low here, like both the death and the birth, so it is totally low. Now let us know about the population composition. When it comes to population composition, is there any composition that has to take place? Let us see about this. Okay, so now each and every person, see when it comes to population, let's take at your place itself. You are staying with your parents, maybe even grandparents are there. So what do your grandparents do? Grandfather, maybe he goes to the shop, he takes care of like all the maybe he's handling the business. Okay, let's take a family. A grandmother, she tells stories to the children, or does all the household work, that these and all, like all those stuffs, whatever it is there. Mother, maybe she's taking care of whole house, right? Right from sweeping, keeping everything clean without like removing the dust, cooking, etc., all those things. And yes, and father goes to the job, right? And you people, you are attending the classes, right? So there are few people who might be a singer, who might be a dancer, a wedding planner, or even a doctor, engineer, or anything for that matter, right? Each and every person is doing their work there, right? But still they are coming together as one. So here you see, let us take how much ever crowded a country is, but still it has little to do with the level of like economic development. See, when it comes to Bangladesh and Japan, let's take this. Now Bangladesh is having more population compared to Japan. Okay, Japan is compared to, I'm telling compared to Japan, but Japan is more developed compared to the nation that is Bangladesh, right? So like countries, only because they are crowded doesn't mean that they are good enough. No, not exactly. It is not that way. Okay, like only because it is crowded, it is totally or highly populated, doesn't mean that they are like giving good or say like they are having the development. Okay, no, it depends upon the skills. As see, many times I have given you the example. See, Japan, what it does, it invests upon the human resource. That's the reason, see, their skills are more, and that's the reason they are developed nation. So when it comes to understanding the role of people as a resource or person as a resource, let us know about their qualities. We should know their qualities. Skills matters a lot. Okay, so people vary greatly in their age, gender, literacy level, health condition, occupation, income level, etc. So these things matters a lot. First is age, gender, okay, the occupation level, okay, their literacy level, health condition. So all those things matters a lot, and it is very essential to understand the characteristics of the people. So like it depends. So as I told you, see, you might have come across a singer, like you might have met a person who tells nice stories, comedian you might have met. So all these things. So like when it comes to these things, population composition, it refers to the structure of the population. What kind of structure they are having? Okay, structure of population. So every human being is having their own potential. They are having their own strength. They are having their own, what I can say is uniqueness. Okay, they are unique. Each and every person is unique, and each and every person is having skill. But it depends upon the person who uses it more, in what way they are using. Okay, so the composition of population helps us to know, what all things it helps us to know. The very first is, it helps us to know how many females and males are there, and which age group they belong to, how much they are educated, what type of occupation they are in, and what is their income. So see, when it comes to population composition, what kind of structure they are following. So it helps us to know the age group, okay, of each and every person. Then how many members, like how many males and females are there, okay, like what age group they do fall in, how much they are educated, what is their occupational level, what is their income level. So all these things we get to know. So now you see, yes, even with that we get to know about even their health condition, how good they are, how healthy they are. So now it is the population, see, when it comes to your textbook, they have given certain pyramids here, okay, in the page number 68 and 69. You can just check it, dear students. So here you see the study of this population country, like population composition of a country. It is given through a pyramid which is called as age sex pyramid. Okay, here the population pyramid, it shows that the total population is divided into various age groups. That is, you can check here, okay, in the figure 6.6, wherein the graph is shown. Okay, they have shown the graph. I don't think so it would be visible, but even then, see here, okay, on the y-axis they have given the age group, okay, 5 to 9, like all those years age group they have given, and here they have given the percentage. Okay, so and there they have given the pyramid is like this, okay, here male and female. So that is how they have given. You can check it. So here, the percentage of the total population is subdivided into, again, male and female here. So there is again a question. So a person is asking, what is this triangular diagram all about? So it is like population pyramid. So what is that? So what actually is this pyramid all about? Okay, what exactly it tells about? So it shows the present number of males and females in a country along with their age group. So at that particular age, how many males and females are there? At this particular age, it shows particularly how many males and females are present at a particular age group. Okay, so now the person is asking, can I play detective and investigate the population of a country? Definitely, we can do that. So let's take the 3 countries here. Okay, population of Kenya is given, population pyramid of India is given, and even Japan has been given. So let us know about the things. So very first, that is figure 6.7. You can check there. See the shape of the population pyramid. It tells the story of the people living in that particular country. So in a particular country, so how many people are residing? So again, the males and females, they have divided all those things. Okay, that is agreeable. But again, the shape itself shows the population here. So here, the number of children that is below the age of 15 years are shown at the bottom level. Okay, you can check it in the page number 69, 6.7 figure. Okay, so the bottom level is considered to be the children. Okay, and here the size of the top shows the number of aged groups, that is 65 years. Okay, so as I told you here, on this axis they have given the age group. Okay, so the bottom, it gives you the birth of how many children, okay, small children below the age of 15 years, okay, that has been given. And at the top level, it is more than 65 years of age, how many people are there. So that figure you can check. So the population pyramid, it also tells about the dependents, how many dependents are there in a country. There are two groups of dependents, that is young dependents below the age of 15 years and elderly dependents. As I told you, like the pyramid, okay, here it shows like, you know, the bottom it is below the 15 years and here it is above the 65 years. So they are dependents. They are depending, okay, these people are dependents. So why they are called as dependents? Because they are depending upon somebody else, okay. And you know, like yes, you can consider these people, okay, below the age of 15 years as young dependents and these people as elderly dependents. So like when it comes to the population pyramid of a country, wherein both birth and death rates are high, is broad at the base, okay. If you consider both birth and death rate are high, then you know the broad like it will be broader at the base and it keeps narrowing at the edge. So this is because many children are born, okay, like and a large percentage of them do die in their infancy, or relatively few become adults, and there are very few old people. So if you are considering this, okay, like death and birth rate are equal, if you are considering, then you know, like broader, okay, base can be taken and they keep dying, right? So the same thing will be carried. So this situation is typified by the pyramid shown for Kenya, that is 6.7 figure. Then comes like in countries where death rates, especially among the very young, are decreasing, the pyramid is broad in the younger age group, okay, because more infants do survive to the adulthood, okay. You can consider this in Indian this figure, okay. So that is 6.8 here. So here you can see the figure here, like the broader, okay, because the birth and death, see here the infants to take birth and they are still alive, okay. So that's the reason the pyramid is growing good. See, Kenyan pyramid, it is like this itself, right? So because the birth rate of the child are more, again they are dying, so that's the reason it is like this. But if you consider India, like it is not much this. So it is like something like this, right? So this is very narrow, but this is not, okay. So that is the difference. Such population contains a relatively large number of young people, even young people are there, and even a very strong and expanding labor force. It is helping you people to get a large number of labor force. And countries like Japan, wherein the low births rates makes the pyramid pyramid narrow at the base, and even the pyramid will be narrow at the base, okay. You can consider the 6.9 figure, wherein the birth rates, the pyramid is narrow at that particular place, and decreased death rates allow the number of people to reach old age, okay. Because of this, they can reach the old age. Now skilled, spirited and hopeful young people endowed with a positive outlook are the future of any nation. So every nation, it depends upon the you might have heard in Kannada, right? Indina makkale nale prajegalu and all, right? You might have heard this. So each and every country depends upon the younger generation, so that they can have if they are very skilled, if they are very intelligent, so those can be used for the future and they can get a developed nation. So nation totally depends upon the intelligence of a person. That's the reason I told you human resource is the very important resource for the nation. So they must be educated and properly skilled, and even opportunities to become able and productive. So they have to get good opportunities so that they become very productive in nature. So that is all about the human resource. Dear students, please do read the textbook, and let me tell you, the more you read the text, the more you will understand, you will understand the things in a better way. And yes, there are 2 more chapters. We'll be dealing with that very soon. Thank you so much, dear students, for your patience. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you so much. Have a great day.